demonstration. As of today, we are back in phase 1, which is why we will be wearing masks for this video demonstration. Yesterday, we were out on the land harvesting the cedar. Today, we're going to demonstrate how to take the cedar and make cedar tea and protection spray. We will be making deliveries to the community of these items sometime next week.
Bonjour. And what I'm doing here is I'm lighting some sage just to smudge ourselves, the room, the space. And of course the medicine. I'll just offer Tamara some smudge.
Miigwech.
Of course, the camera lady will just give you a little smudge there. And I also have a little bit of Sama. Some people follow the teaching that if you don't offer a little bit of tobacco, that the medicines won't work. And I also had a candle here. I'll light it too, so that we have the fire.
Ishkode.
Shkode. Yep. And this cedar here we harvest yesterday.
Yeah.
And
it was
so
a beautiful day, wasn't it?
it sure was. It was nice to get out.
Yeah, be by the water and the sun was shining. It was just a beautiful day.
Some people will break down the cedar into really small pieces, but for tea, like you can make them, you know, a good size to fit right into the pot. So I'll invite Tamara to help break down some of these pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And then over here, I have a stainless steel pot, and what I'm going to do is smudge the pot as well. And I just wanted to talk a bit about stainless steel and aluminum, and most people say that stainless steel is the best kind of pot to make your medicine in, either that or ceramic. But if you don't have any of those and you have aluminum, then that's fine. And but we will be using this pot in our next activities to make soup in the boat. So now that I smudged my pot, I'm going to run water our nippe into our pot. And now what I'm going to do is designate this pot as our Gijbandak novel pot. So we will be making our cedar tea in this pot all the time. And that's what I do at home, is I use the same pot.
Oh, okay.
Always, yeah.
Oh, good to know, Barb.
Yeah, so I brought it from home and we'll keep it here to have it for that. And it's a good size where I can make enough tea for all the staff. So looking at that, the size of pot to be, you know, to make enough tea for the amount of people that you want to make tea for. And then I have another huge pot that I make Gijbandak novel on a fire outside, and it's a bigger pot. And also, it doesn't matter if it goes on the fire. So now I'm just going to put that on here, and I'm going to turn it on. And once that starts to boil, I will put the cedar in it. And if you want to come back to Tamara here, you can see that she's breaking the cedar. And we have a good little amount here, but for that size of a pot, we can use more.
Okay.
And some people use the stems and everything. Like when I make tea at home, I even put the stems in it because there's a lot of medicine in that stem.
Oh, okay.
And I heard a couple teachings, like some people will boil the water, they will allow the cedar to boil, or another way is to turn it down once it's boiled and then to let the cedar steep.
Okay.
So I've heard two different teachings around whether to boil it or not to boil it. At home, we usually let it boil.
Yeah, I let mine boil too.
Mm-hmm. Because also the steam goes up in the air, and
It smells so good.
yeah, the scent and the fragrance of the cedar is also medicinal. And sometimes I'll even, like at home, not over a pot that I'm going to share with other people, but at home I'll like put my face over the tea and I will inhale it because that's medicine.
Oh.
And some people will even use little crock pots and they'll put them in their room and they'll let that stay in there all night.
Oh, that's good to know.
Like a diffuser, eh? So
Oh.
you're taking in the scent of the cedar. I haven't done that. I have bought a little crock pot and I am going to use it to, do that.
Yeah.
And one step that I didn't do, but we will do, is rinse the cedar off.
Okay.
And if you have a strainer, but if not, even having like another pot of water and just like rinsing off your cedar.
It smells so good in here.
And I don't worry about, like sometimes people are worried about spiders or whatever.
I never even thought of that.
Until now.
Yeah,
Oh,
until
just
now.
kidding. That as you boil it, it's all going to be, what's the word? Anything that's in there, it's going to be killed off anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sterilize, like when you boil, the sterilization process. And see, sometimes I don't even worry too much about size. So this is like a good amount here for that pot.
Okay.
And if you want your tea stronger or weaker, like it all depends on the amount that you put in and also the length of time that you boil it or the length of time that you steep it, however you choose to make that. And so we offered our same into the sage bowl. And once that pot over there starts to boil, I will put this in there and then we will, first I'll rinse it and then we will enjoy our cedar tea. And you can put maple syrup, you can put honey, sugar if you like, but the maple syrup and the honey is definitely better. Or just drink it plain. And I like to drink it out of a ceramic cup or one of those tin cups that are ceramic. They're coated ceramic.
Okay.
I don't like to use styrofoam or the
Yeah.
plastic cups. And if people can bring their own cups, say to ceremony, or the cups be provided,
Yeah.
that's even better. So I'm just going to use this pot for now, since it's here. And I'm just going to run water over the cedar just to rinse it off. So I just rinse it off, And like I said, once it's boiled, everything, whatever is not meant to be in there will be cleansed off when you boil the water and the cedar. So that water hasn't boiled yet, but if you want to, you can put the cedar into the pan anyway, because it will still boil. And just making sure that none of the cedar falls on the stove and could be a possible fire hazard. Getting all the cedar pieces, and then having a stainless steel ladle is good. So I just push it all down and let that heat up and let it boil. And in about 20 minutes or so, we'll have cedar tea.
We'll have lots of vitamin C's. Cold season's coming.
Great. For cold and flu season, having cedar tea is a really good idea. And also with COVID, drinking that when you're ill. Hopefully people don't get ill. Prayers out for everyone to stay healthy and safe. And it's also a good prevention medicine. Like, you don't have to wait until you're sick. You can drink that tea before, and it helps to keep your throat and your respiratory and all of your, you know, the respiratory system, keep it healthy.
Yeah.
And do you have anything else you want to add? There was something you were saying earlier.
Oh, that we're going to also be using the cedar water to put it in spray bottles, so as a protection. So you can.
I think that's it for now. Maybe you can stay tuned when we actually have some cedar tea in about half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour. Miigwech.
Miigwech.
Putting the cedar tea into a tea diffuser, but we're using it as a strainer, and then pouring all the cedar water.
Maybe film those.
And then if you could give her an atomizer, Tanya. And then, okay, see, Tanya's putting the atomizer
I can do that. You just
spray part onto the bottle. And then we'll be distributing these to the community. So when it's used for cedar water, it's used as a spray. Maybe Tamara can demonstrate, and that acts as a protection medicine. And then Tamara also has tea. We had tea earlier, so some nidi shabo, and it's very delicious. Miigwech.
Miigwech.